Hey everybody, welcome to the Big Guy Little Guy podcast. Not the Big Guy Little Guy Q&A podcast because I really just didn't feel like answering Redox questions about Asperger and Jackie for 2 hours. So this is a new thing instead. I'm Riley, the big guy, of course joined by Andrew, the little guy.
I've had so many issues within the last week, I don't even want to talk about anything.
Well, you're gonna have to talk about it, Andrew, because boy, have you had some adventures. There's a reason. The Big Guy, Little Guy podcast is a measure, is a stopgap measure. That we're doing this for not just because we decided we wanted to do a podcast. We're not. I've actually seen multiple Let's Play channels do this. So let me assure this to you, because this made me sad every time a Let's Play channel I liked did it. The Monkey and Big Show. I'm looking at you. We are not canceling our Let's Play show and replacing it with a podcast. That's not what we're doing. We just don't really have the ability to make our Let's Play show right now for reasons we'll discuss in a moment. So until then, we're doing this fun little podcast. At least for this week. We'll see if we want to do it again next week if we're not back up and running by then, which I assume we won't be because I think you have to buy a whole new computer, correct?
We're in the works of it.
In the works. All right.
All right.
Andrew, tell me why did we miss 3 uploads last week, and why are we uploading this podcast right now instead of this week's Let's Plays? Tell us.
All right. So it really started last week. So last week I was doing my whole editing thing, and Premiere was just not working with the 2 Sunshine videos. In fact, I edited one of the Sunshine videos in Clipchamp just so that I could get it done and get it into the drive for you to upload. So this week, it's the same thing. I start my, sorry, my friend just got fucking, shit, what's the word? Someone just stole their identity on Instagram. Yippee.
Why? For what
I have
purpose?
no fucking clue. I just woke up and I got a notification that they followed me, which I thought was weird because they were already following me.
Yeah, like
And
what
then-
the hell? Why'd you unfollow me and then follow me back? What happened
And then I
here?
looked and it's like, that account has no followers. So I sent him a message and I'm like, is this you? And he said no. And I'm like, okay, great. Back to the point. So this week I try to edit and Premiere is just like, you can't do this right now. We have an unexpected error. And I'm like, all right, okay, whatever. I'll just reboot my laptop because that kind of worked last week. And it said no again. And I'm like, damn, all right, whatever. And so I decided at that point, okay, I'm gonna delete Premiere and I'm gonna re-download it to see if that fixes the issue.
You see, you know the IT tricks. You know the steps to go to. You're informed.
Yes, I delete Premiere, I re-download Premiere, and the export doesn't work anymore.
Oh
I
no!
cannot export videos. This didn't become apparent to me that I couldn't export a video until I edited the last Sunshine video that was supposed to be uploaded for this week, Sunshine 14. So it's edited. It just won't process. So I can't do it. It won't upload. I tried deleting Premiere multiple times.
Sorry to jump in here. I had a genius scheme. I had a genius plan. I had a Jimmy Neutron brain blast, and I was like, Andrew, here's how we fucking get around this, right? You take the preview of the recording in Premiere, and you record it with OBS. Now, why didn't that genius plan work? Why did Sunshine 14 not come out? Because that's a foolproof plan, right? So what happened there?
Because then it would just be my Premiere overlay. So it would be like all of Premiere and then the little corner of the game. And I obviously can't edit it so that
Andrew,
the video
you can
just
crop
comes out.
in OBS.
You can crop in OBS?
Yes.
Oh.
I
Well,
thought
either way,
you see what I was leading you into is that I thought you had said that OBS also wasn't working. So I thought you were going to say,
that
and it
also,
also isn't
right, that's
working.
also why. I thought originally it was just me being lazy. I forgot. So, another issue that came up immediately after Premiere just didn't work for a day. I start OBS and it crashes in 10 minutes. I say,
Ah.
okay, whatever. I go to my Audacity. My Audacity recorded for 15 minutes and then crashed. I troubleshooted through Audacity and I got it to work the way that I wanted it to originally. But OBS still has not worked for me. In fact, it's gotten to a point where I've just given up recording as a whole right now. Everything that I've had just does not work. Fucking Citra. Citra does not work anymore. Citra will run for 10 minutes and then crash.
Well,
Which
yeah. So speaking of Citra, Andrew, if you wanna get off the sad my computer doesn't work talk for a minute, um, there was some tragic news about Citra recently. Andrew, are you up to date on this?
I think we spoke about the whole Citra and Yuzu thing, them getting shut down on Issue Crew, or them shutting down, but
I
it
don't
is
think we did.
devastating. We may have touched on it a little bit because I told you about Yuzu's legal battle with Nintendo and them just giving up and throwing in the towel.
Yeah, we've definitely had this argument somewhere. I don't remember if it was on an unreleased Big Guy Little Guy or on Issue Crew or something, but I guess I'm treading ground that we will eventually hit then, because we do intend to
They'll come out.
upload the remaining episodes from that session when we can.
They'll come out. We're having some issues right now.
I'm so pissed still. Like I seethe whenever I think about that shit. I
Why
can't
is my Chrome in Yahoo?
I've seen an update since the last time we talked about it, and now I kind of understand. At least, I guess I didn't really look into this guy's credibility, but the point he was making seemed sound. What he was saying is the reason why Yuzu agreed to settle for that ridiculous amount of money rather than fight it in court because emulation is legal. There's legal precedent for that. Is because they were up to some additional shenanigans, and if they went into discovery, they would have gotten butt fucked because they were distributing illegal ROMs in their Discord server and shit. So that is why I think that actually explains it perfectly. They settled for that stupid amount of money because they didn't want to get butt fucked for all the illegal ROMs they were spreading in the Discord, including I think maybe Tears of the Kingdom early. I'm not
I
sure
think
about that.
it was definitely. I heard from someone that it was Tears of the Kingdom. They distributed it like 10 days early, and that fucked with whatever.
Yeah, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing they did settle because settlements don't set legal precedents. And had they went and fought it and got butt fucked because in Discovery they discovered how much piracy was going on, then that would set a weird, murky legal precedent that could perhaps be brought up in argument in later emulation cases down the line and kind of muddy the waters. So I'm glad that they settled. I'm glad there's no legal precedent. And fuck you, Yuzu, for fucking around and finding out and scaring another perfectly good and perfectly innocent emulator into shutting down.
Yeah, fucking. What am I gonna use for 3DS emulation now?
Just the Citra you already have downloaded, or Citra you can find on a website somewhere. It's not going to go away.
Probably,
Neither is Yuzu. You're going to be able to find them both easily.
probably, but I don't know. I would imagine that Nintendo will Nintendo it one way or another. I guess RetroArch, but why the fuck would I want to use RetroArch for 3DS games?
I was using RetroArch today, actually, not for 3DS games, but you just mentioned RetroArch, and I was gonna bring this up. I started a Nuzlocke today, just on my own volition, and it was part of my experimentation. You see, a tradition I've seemed to be building around here is anytime a new device comes into my house, usually like a new TV or some new device that my mother buys for something, if it has a screen on it, it then becomes my life's goal to play Pokemon on that thing. It has become a tradition. Uh, and my mother recently bought a new TV, which I found out was an Android TV, and I was like, "Yo, I bet I can run hella emulators on that thing." And she's not home today, so I went on it, and it does have a RetroArch app, so I downloaded that. And I got Pokemon Leaf Green running on there, and I started a hardcore Nuzlocke. I set up the cheats so I could rare candy pill it, which I'm now just a full subscriber to the rare candy pill. It's so nice to just be able to progress in Pokemon games. I'm spoiled now.
Yeah, it's why we all do it.
Yeah, so I'm doing that. I'm 2 badges in. That's what I did this morning prior to us coming together. It was annoying to set up because it's really cumbersome to use a web browser to download a ROM on a TV. And it's
That
even
would
more
only
it's even
assume-
more it's even more cumbersome to legally dump a ROM from your cartridge on your TV, which is what I did. So you could tell
Totally.
how how I must have struggled. But so I started a Leaf Green Hardcore Nuzlocke, 2 badges in, clean, no deaths, which is surprising because I do have a Mankey on my team, and it's been the pattern that every time I have a Fire Red Leaf Green Nuzlocke and I have a Mankey, it dies fucking immediately. So
Fucking Mankey sucks. That's what I've come to the conclusion of.
no, he hits pretty hard. Well, Mankey does suck, but Primeape like hits like a truck, but his defense is paper. He's like many other Pokemon in that regard. He hits hard and fast, but he gets cleaved open a little too easy.
I
But
wouldn't know.
yeah, double badges. I got my fucking Nidoqueen, Gyarados,
Oh, right. You're playing Leaf
fucking
Green.
fucking Mankey, Kadabra, Geodude, and Ivysaur, baby. That's the squad. We're running it down.
That's
I got that son of a bitch Abra. I got him. My Butterfree was faster. He put him to sleep. I threw that fucking Pokeball. I got his ass. I have a Kadabra now. It's beautiful.
I'm playing I'm playing Fire Red for my first time because I usually play Leaf Green. And my team right now consists of a Charizard, a Nidoking, Lapras, Haunter, and a Raichu because I found Pikachu in a forest and I was like, oh, I'm gonna catch that. I never find Pikachu in 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, the Pikachu encounter rare is always hype.
Yeah. I named my Pikachu Clefairy based on that one meme from like 10 years ago of the guy screaming it's Pikachu to the Clefairy thing. And
It's
why am
Pikachu.
I getting Canvas
Fuck.
notifications? It is Saturday. I'm
Ooh,
so not ready to
homework.
go back to school. I
All
had
right,
this whole
were
week
you on a
off.
break or something? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, kind of in part of why I'm saving up for just my own personal computer at this point instead of trying to fix my laptop is because one, I do want to get into PC gaming. I think it's time. You know, I've done a lot of gaming on this thing, and I think it's time that I just upgrade to my own personal PC, my gaming PC. I'm probably going to spend my starting limit is $1,000, so I'm probably going to spend like 1,500 if we're being honest.
I'm not ready to take the gamer PC pill. I think it might be another generation before I can fucking stare down the barrel of that gun of fucking like building my own PC or spending a ass ton on pre builds or whatever. Either way, I think I am gonna acquiesce. I was thinking for a while like maybe I won't buy a console this time. Maybe I'll hold out for a gaming PC. I think a PS5 is in my near future, if I'm being real.
I could understand it. See, I understand if you buy a console, I understand the PS5. I understand going for Sony's PlayStation or or Nintendo's fucking Switch, even if it's a little behind for the
Well, I
last
already have one of those,
upteenth
and that's
years.
great. I
Yeah,
love that. But
I understand it when it comes to
I'm gonna
that.
need a console to play Sparking Zero on. Is really the deciding factor.
Just my issue comes with I have an Xbox, and God, does this thing not have shit for exclusives? So what the fuck is the point?
Well, hey, you have the new Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna be able to get Sparking Zero. It'll be hype.
The fuck even is Sparking Zero?
The Budokai Tenkaichi 4,
Oh,
the new Dragon Ball game.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, dude, I'm
Um,
so excited. That game looks so fucking clean. I'm so hyped. I'm gonna buy a PS5 because I need to have one to play this game when it comes out.
I think I'm gonna sell my Xbox if I'm being honest with you. I'll sell my Xbox, get however
Well,
much I can get
yeah,
off
if you're
of
getting a
that.
gamer PC, then
Yeah. I'll
it
sell
kind
the
of serves all
Xbox,
those purposes.
get rid of that, spend like $1,000 on the computer itself, because I'm not building my own. I'm gonna buy a pre-built. Um, then I'm gonna I'll sell the Xbox, I'll buy the monitors and whatever with that money. I'm supposed to work like 40 hours I think I'm scheduled for over 40 this week, which was the week that we are in right now. It's just I don't work until the weekend. I'm trying to go in at 2 p.m. today, and then tomorrow I work 11 to 11 because I don't know, management hates me. But I have like a good amount of money saved up, I think. I
Well,
just
that's a
also
good
won't
thing.
spend money.
I have
Worst
no
comes
money
to
saved up,
worst.
but I'm gonna change that. I can see the end coming. I've got a fat ass paycheck coming, and if I just like not spend that and let it build a foundation, I think I can start putting a little bit away. And
Just
my goal is to. I don't know if a PS5 is gonna fit into this equation. It might throw things off, but I might get too tempted if I have the money for one. But the goal is to save up enough money to go on a trip in July and hopefully also, and then continue to save after that trip and have enough money to move in like February.
Hmm.
That's the goal.
that is an 11-month plan.
Yep.
To be fair, in about like a year's time, I saved like $5,000, but like that's also because I worked part time for like almost the entire year. I didn't start pushing 40 hours until I turned 18. And then they're like, all right, you can go up to that. Even in the summer, I only worked like 30 because my managers hate me. But it's different this year because the kitchen manager's leaving, so they need a new one, and no one else really can fit that role excluding me. Whether the managers like to agree on that or not, unless they hire a morning shift guy to become a kitchen manager. They could do that, but I think that'd be really dumb.
Well, don't they need the manager there at the beginning of the day?
We have we have like 4 to
Let me
5
mute my
managers
mic. I'm
that work
sorry.
in the
I can't
morning.
find the mute.
Oh my god.
I found it.
All right. So the kitchen has like well, not the kitchen, but our morning shift, we have 2 managers that work 8 to 4 up front. The general manager works from 8 to 4. We have a manager that comes in at 11 to 7, who's the middle manager who comes in, to put the gap between morning shift and closing shift. And then every once in a while, we have another manager that works only the mornings. So they have like 5 people that could manage the kitchen, or at least like 2 to 3, while still having frontline managed by the frontline managers. And the kitchen manager right now is a closing manager. He doesn't open. Sometimes he opens on the weekend, but it's been very rare for the last year.
Sure.
Really, we just need another closing kitchen manager, and no one else can really fill that role,
And you're the man for the job.
unfortunately. Um, they did also just recently give me a raise upon coming back. They're like, "Hey, don't tell anyone, but we're giving you a raise. And then they proceeded to tell everyone.
Don't tell anyone. We'll tell people, but you don't tell
Yeah,
anyone.
because management cannot keep their mouths shut for the life of them. It's okay. I love them sometimes.
I love my managers. They're so great.
I love my managers. They're so great. I got into a verbal argument with one of my managers this Monday. I get into fights with my managers all the time. So I don't know. I'm a strong believer that if you want to get up in your company, you just gotta harass some management until they believe you. And it's worked. You don't know how many times I've called my managers stupid bitches, fucking pieces of shit, assholes, dicks, anything and anything that I can call them, I've called them it.
That's fucking wild that you're just calling your managers bad swear word things.
Why?
You can't just do. Listen, I've been disrespectful to my managers, but like, I guess it depends on your environment. For some reason, my company has a real hard on about not swearing. So like, that's a bigger deal than just like the form of disrespect I do is like, I once disobeyed a direct order in the face of like one of my bigger bosses. That was pretty cool. She didn't even care that much, so that was funny. Uh, that's the kind of shit I'm doing. I'm not calling them fuckheads or whatever. They would get pissed about that.
There was one time I screamed at my manager. I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? We're in the middle of a fucking shift. Why are you taking 2 people out of the kitchen right now? I made sure everyone heard me. It worked. They went back into the kitchen after my little debacle.
You saved the day, Andrew. You were the hero everyone needed.
I let them sit out of the kitchen for like 30 minutes and I just ran the kitchen with one other person. But after that, I'm like, okay, this is enough.
Yeah,
I
only
gave
need
up.
so much.
We need like 3 to 4 people. We need 3 people regularly. Like when I would work 11 to 7 on the weekends, when we actually had an ample closing staff, we would have 3 people for morning shift in the kitchen, and I made that work. See, we have someone on the grill, we have someone doing buns who is making all the burgers just without the meat so that the grill can put the meat on it. And then we have someone do the fryer who bags fries, drops, everything else that goes into the fryer, cheese curds, onion rings, pretzel bites, fish, tenders,
Wait, I'm stupid. I was
chicken.
about to ask, how do they get the stuff on top of the burger instead of on bottom of the burger? Somehow my mind did not comprehend that you could separate the top and bottom of the bun, put the toppings on the top bun backwards, and then put it on top of the burger once you're done. That never crossed my mind.
Riley, have you had Culver's any time recent?
Not super recently. I think the last time I had Culver's was probably like a couple of years ago when
Okay.
corporate visited and they took me out to lunch at work and we went to Culver's.
All right. So I'm about to fucking blow your fucking mind because I did this to my mom too. We do not put toppings on the top of the burger. We put them on the
What?
bottom bun.
What?
Look at any Culver's burger.
Those aren't, they're called toppings for a reason. Those are bottomings, what you're doing.
Yeah, it's insane. But if you look look up Culver's burger and look at the burger, you notice that everything's on the fucking bottom. Fucking mayo, pickles, onion, lettuce, tomato. All of it's on the bottom of the meat.
That's so insane. That's so unhinged.
I know. You have to try it on your own because you realize nothing falls out. That's what my mom said. She did it one day because she realized that I do it. And she's like, why do you do it like that? It's supposed to be on the top. And I'm like, that's how I do it at work. And she's like,
All right,
huh.
CEO of Culver's, let's see who you really are. Rips mask off. The Joker!
I actually haven't had a Culver's burger
A
in quite a
true
while.
madman. A true madman it takes to put all the toppings at the bottom of the burger.
It's so weird. Like, I think it's weird. Because we even do it with the cheese. Like we'll put cheese below the burger and then one in between two, which I don't get. But I'm weird. I'll melt people's cheese when I'm on grill, but I'm like the only person that consistently does that because fuck everyone else. They don't fucking care, and I do.
You gotta melt the cheese, right? Who's gonna have a not melted cheese on their cheeseburger? I would be pissed.
Well, assume that like I'll set the cheese on the grill for like 30 seconds, not 30 seconds, like 10 seconds, and then onto the burger. Um, but most of the time you can just assume that the burger is hot enough that it'll melt the cheese itself because it's coming right off the grill.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because it's Culver's where everything is made fresh.
Good, good.
It's also
I do
really
like
expensive.
Culver's a lot.
You know, it's the middle of Lent. It was slow for our standards yesterday and slow for our standards on a Friday.
Oh yeah,
Was
you're in a pretty podunk area, huh? I bet you have a lot of observing Christians around there not eating meat right now.
our slowness right now was generating $3,000 an hour.
Okay, well that's not very slow.
Yeah, that is not slow. Let's assume that out of that $3,000, about
You see,
half of it.
you say this, and I'm like, that sounds insane. But I bet you there are a lot of fast food places that blow that out of the sky. I'm just not understanding. I'm not understanding how the money adds up and at what rate.
Okay, well, a cod dinner is about I think like $14 at most.
Oh yeah, you guys have fish,
Yeah,
so
that's
so
why.
people can come there and lend. Oh my god,
Yeah, we have two fish. We could. The other day we sold 1,000 pieces of cod in a
Culver's
day.
fish seems inherently sketchy.
Everyone says that about fast food fish, and I don't blame them. But it's about as not sketchy as we can make it. It might just be sketchy because it's $14 for 3 pieces and 2 sides. But um, I didn't sign an NDA. I can talk about the fish. Um, so the way that we do our fish is we let it thaw for 4 days in a cooler. We take it out of the freezer, so it's frozen then. We put it in a cooler where it unthaws. If it isn't unthawed by the 4 days, or by the time that we need it, because we go through a lot of fish during the weekend, we'll have to put it under cold water and let it run for like an hour or so. And then after that, we take it out of the water and we bring it into the kitchen into a little thingamajig, a pan, so that we have it on standby. And then we douse it in flour and then into fish batter and then into the fryer to where it sits for 4 minutes.
Okay.
So it's about as clean and not sketchy as you can get. But there's been times where someone, I'm not saying who, it was me,
Oh, okay.
accidentally ran the cod under hot water. And this happened more than once.
What the fuck?
And I ruined like 300 pieces of cod.
Oh my god!
This has happened like 5 times. It's happened like 3 times.
What
So,
the fuck?
yeah, the fact I still have my job is incredible.
That's so insane.
If anyone has costed the company more money, it's me, than me. That it's just not possible. I've probably lost like $300 of fish. I dropped $80 worth of chili one day. That was an accident, and then I had to clean it up. I've thrown away a good amount of custard because I have to usually if I'm doing the dishes because we have a flavor of the day and we only run it for one day for like a month. Um,
It
I've
seems like a weird business model somehow.
It is because we have to throw
Because if
away a
you
good amount of
have the
custard.
stuff, yeah.
We have it, but
It
it's
seems
just
like
not
you
how
would
our
just
flavor of the
offer
day
it while
works.
supplies last.
Maybe that would kind of make sense, but no, that's not how we do it. Um, I've accidentally dropped a whole packet of meat. That was like $40 worth of raw meat. I'm trying to think, what else have I wasted? The other day, right before I left, I think it was during that 2 week period where I was working there, but I knew I was leaving and they already had my 2 weeks. I broke the bun machine that toasts our buns.
I'm surprised they didn't fucking just tell you to leave right there.
I accidentally hit the thing that holds all the butter and it fell into the bun machine, which is really hard to do. I hit it with a lot of force on accident. And a bunch of butter went in and it caused a bunch of steam and a bunch of issues. And they bought a new bun machine a couple days later. So, see, what really should have been the we need to make him leave now is the fact that I would serve so many medium rare burgers that it was an issue.
I
Like,
mean, medium rare burgers are how you want them, though.
not when it comes to fast food.
Oh yeah,
Why
I
would
guess
you
you're
want your
right.
burger to
'Cause
be
it's like
pink?
fake ass burger. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm thinking
Um,
about like real ass burgers. Yeah, yeah, you're not a fast food burger. You're
yeah,
right.
no, like the big burgers, yeah, but like when you're in fast food and you bite a burger and it's bright fucking pink,
Yeah, that's
no.
fucked.
And it's a bunch of black people that I work with. They
Although
don't.
I guess like I couldn't really tell you why it's fucked.
I've vomited from my own burgers after them being medium rare. So I understand.
That's fair.
Um, but it's why I'm kind of not allowed to do grill. Um, so I'm not allowed to do grill by most of my coworkers. They don't let me do it. They put anyone else on it before they put me on it, including the guys that will manage the kitchen. They will do grill before I'm allowed to do it. Um,
Sure. Why?
my
Well, you just told me about your 300 cod pieces you ruined and your bun
yeah.
machine broke. So, yeah,
Um,
I wouldn't trust you as far
fuck.
as I could throw you either.
But a lot of the time they'll just let me manage. Like when I came in Monday, the guy that regularly manages the kitchen, he's like, Andrew, you got to do middle today. And I'm like, damn, I did not come in today to do middle, but all right. And I did middle for like a few hours. And then my manager came in and she's like, you're not doing middle. Get the fuck off and go do something else. And I'm like, damn, okay. Despite the fact that I'm able to do middle, she does not want me to do middle and manage the kitchen, which is why it's called middle, because you're in the middle of the kitchen sending orders out. She hates it, but I don't care. I'll do it either way.
Yeah, you do what you got to do, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten 2 coworkers fired, but now,
What? How?
which, okay. So the first time I got a coworker fired was about last year, about right nowish in the year, I would think. This girl really liked me, and I mean really liked me.
Really liked you. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Um, she just had something mentally wrong with her. So one day she only works 4 to 7 because she was 15, and she does something to someone, and it was like, and one of the managers was telling me about it. I'm like, yeah, I think it's time that you guys just let her go. She's kind of shit anyways. We don't really need her. And they were like, huh, yeah, I guess you're right.
I guess you have a point now that I really think about it.
Yeah, now, yeah. And the next day she tells me, she's like, yeah, they fired me. And I'm like, damn.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh,
All
I'm
right.
so sorry. Oh no. Oh, how
Now,
could they do that to you? Oh no.
now, you could argue that it really wasn't me that got the first person fired because there were already talks about getting rid of her. I just pushed the thread far enough for them to do it. And the second one is entirely on me. That is my fault. So part of my elaborate scheme to quit my job and then come back when they offer me more money in the middle of Lent because they were understaffed, which worked. Um, I quit. And this girl that also really liked me also quit immediately after. But she didn't really quit. She got fired because she said that she didn't want to work the weekend. But,
Oof. Okay.
and I told her, I'm like, there's a good chance that I'm going to go back, right? Yeah, I told her that like multiple times. And she's like, yeah, I know. So I call back, I call there, I get back, I talk with the general manager. She's like, I'll talk with the kitchen. I'll see if they really do need you back. And she calls me a couple days later. And she's like, the kitchen's been begging you to come back. So if you want to come back, you can start Friday. And that's what happened. I left my internship and immediately went to work at like 6 p.m., which was only like 4 hours, but it was 4 hours that I wanted to work.
Wait. New Andrew lore unlocked? I've never heard about this internship before.
All right. I worked as a video editor and an interview recorder for a business in the Metro Detroit area that,
Oh shit.
yeah, I did that for like 30 hours. And I'm like, all right, this is boring. I can't do this.
Really?
Basically, yeah.
That seems like such a cushy job. You could just like sit at home and chill and edit.
I would have to go into the office and
Just sit in the office and chill and edit.
yeah, I considered it, but I don't think they really needed me. And I quite frankly didn't want to be there.
Fair enough. I guess if I had the skills to do that job and I had it in front of me, I feel like I would chomp at the bit for it. But I guess
I mean,
different folks
yeah.
are different folks.
I probably could have argued and gotten it like full time because they were literally a company of 3 people that run a tight ship. But I didn't feel like doing that. And they were also really far. And again, I'm in school, so I really can't work the regular 9 to 5. I could work like 1 to 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, but like, nah. And it was also far, so if I was paying for gas every time, I would eventually just be losing money.
That's fair.
But I go back to Culver's, and not even 2 days later, the first time my name is fully back into the system and I'm on the schedule for 30 hours a week, like originally asked for, my ex-coworker goes in some random morning and asks for her job back.
Just like,
And
yo, what's up? Give me that job.
And I'm sitting at home after she told me, and I'm like, there's no fucking way you just fucking did that. There's no way you went in and asked for your job back.
Honey, I'm home.
So I go in. I'm aggravated as all hell because I found out that she just did that. And my manager's like, what's wrong? You seem a little more annoyed than you normally are. And I'm like, yeah, because it's about so-and-so. And I don't want her working here again. And she's like, what? Why? And I'm like, I can't stand her. She's really annoying. I cannot work with her. And if you rehire her, I will quit again. Okay, well, if we do rehire her, we'll just schedule her on a different schedule than you. And
No,
I'm like,
Andrew,
okay.
I have to ask a scientific question.
Yep.
I actually
Yes.
I have to ask a pre question to the scientific question. How old is she?
She is 17.
Okay, so to you, an 18-year-old,
Yeah.
is she hot?
All right. All right. So, to answer your question,
Okay.
yes, but she wears a mask.
Yeah, that's pretty gay.
And she does not take it off.
Ever?
Riley, she gave head with the mask on.
How do you even do that? How did you know this?
Because it happened to me, dumb fuck.
You received the head?
Yeah.
From this annoying girl that you refused to work with?
Yeah.
With the mask on?
Yeah.
Wow.
God, this is going to be really funny if this blows up in 5 years and then this clip gets sent to her.
Yeah, 'cause she doesn't know you hate her, right? You're being a woman, Andrew.
No,
There's a little bit of Aubrey coming out.
no, there was a little bit of. I told her like I really don't want to work with you again. You know, you're really annoying. You're kind of annoying, and I'd rather just not work with you. But I spent like 3 days talking to every manager that I could talk to any manager that would listen that I do not want to work with her again. And they're like, okay, understandable. We're not going to put her back on the schedule. And they told her multiple times. They told her the first time that we had a full schedule. Then she found out I was working a double a weekend. So she called the next Sunday asking for her job back. And they told her no because I was working the double and we were a full schedule. She calls again she blocks me one day and then calls there the next day asking for her job back. Which
You'd think she wouldn't want the job back if it was awkward between you two. That would just be weird.
yeah, I didn't get it. Why would you block me and then ask for your job back? And I went in and my manager's like, when was the last time you talked to her? And I'm like, she blocked me yesterday. And they're like, oh, she called this morning asking for her job back again. And I was so confused because it made me look like an idiot because she asked for her job back again. And it's like, she said that she heard that I was doing a double so that they would need it. And I'm like, oh my God. I got into a huge fight with her. I didn't speak to her for days. And now we're barely speaking again. And I'm so thankful for that. Especially because I've moved on fully at this point.
Fucking based womanizer Andrew, just getting his mask-laden blowjob and getting out of there.
Keep in mind, this is now like a month old.
Did you explain the mechanics of how that worked? Did she cut a hole in it?
She took it off for that, but then immediately put it back on.
Oh, I thought you said she did it with it on.
No. I mean,
it's like a mouth condom. You just leave it on and you like kind of feel the mouth, but it stops you from actually touching it.
No, but I've spoke to management about it and they're like, have you ever even seen her without the mask? And I'm like, no, she doesn't take it off around me. She's like deathly terrified. Which never made sense to me. How are you going to be
Did she tell you not to look when she took it off, when she did the deed?
Bold of you to assume she would take it off during the deed.
You said she took it off to fucking blow
she would,
you. Did she tell you not to look?
She would take it down to her like chin and then immediately put it back on when she was done.
Oh, okay.
But no, I told even management, like they asked the juicy questions and I'm like, please stop asking those. I don't want to talk about this. And better yet, I don't want to answer the question of why was she wearing a mask still.
Wait, do you know why? Do you know the origin story?
No. I've seen her face in photos. It's not that bad. I don't understand why you were wearing a mask still.
Is it just because she's like really scared of COVID and thinks it's still real?
I would understand that if maybe you didn't have a dick in your mouth.
I mean, she pulled it down. Pulling it down is basically taking it off. She just didn't bother putting it down somewhere.
Yeah, but like at that point, just keep it off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she put it back up after that was done, and you moved on to further interactions. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah. But every manager agreed that they would not rehire her for my sake. And if they would, then she would only be scheduled days that I wouldn't work. So I was like, okay, whatever. And she never got rehired. We never even spoke about rehiring her. Until this Friday, the top boss, the franchise owner, said that he wanted her back. To which, again, I said, tell him that I will quit if she is brought back. There is no reason to bring her back as we have so many new hires right now that our schedule is full and there is no reason to have her. Also, she came late to work a bunch, and she would usually be the last person to leave because she cannot drive and her family does not pay for her Ubers, and she does not have an ability to save money in the slightest at all. She has no money saved up, which is entirely different to me because I have like a good amount of money saved up, as stated earlier, and she doesn't. And it
Andrew's
amazes me how
fucking
she
Remy
can.
bucks aplenty over here. I've saved so much money. I'm so rich.
I could understand spending a good amount because I spend like $200 a week, but I cannot fathom on how someone can manage to spend their entire paycheck every week, 3 days after getting it.
Well, Andrew, I can tell you from experience, it's not that hard to do.
I I think it is really hard to do because there are so many useless things that I've bought, and I maintain my car, and I
Imagine if you just
still have
bought
a
like
good
a
amount.
shit ton of food and then like video games and subscription services.
Subscription service is probably why, because I don't have any. But I spend like $30 a week, and sometimes like an upwards of like 70, if I'm being honest with you.
I need to stop buying video games, except for the ones I know I'm gonna fucking play. Like literally, the next and maybe last ever video game I should buy is fucking Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Any video game I really want to play, I can play for free somehow. All the video games I want to play are old. Uh, I don't need to buy them on fucking PlayStation Network and drop a ton of money and then never play them. I need to stop buying video games. I'm
Yeah,
not
see,
going to,
I did the
but
same thing.
I need to.
I bought a whole Nintendo Switch voucher for $100, and I think I got Splatoon 3 and Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Because maybe I'll get back into it someday. Maybe I'll
And
actually play video games.
I wanted to play Splatoon. That was my whole reason for it, and I hate Splatoon 3.
Oh, why? What makes it so different from the other ones?
I don't know what makes it different. It just feels different. I loved the dualies in Splat 2.
Is
In fact,
Splat 2
I
still
love.
up?
It might be, but I don't know if anyone even plays it anymore.
I'm
So
sure
that was my
if,
whole reason.
if it's up, people play. I guarantee you. Maybe not a
Probably.
lot of people, but enough to fill games.
Let's find
So
out.
if you wanted to get in touch with your love of Splatoon, I'm sure you could just play Splatoon 2.
It's supposedly Splatoon 1 servers might still even be up.
Well, I think Wii U Wi-Fi might be down now.
It might be, but even a year ago, Splatoon 1 was still up.
Yeah, I think Splatoon 1 went. Splatoon 1, if the Wii U Wi-Fi is still up, Splatoon 1 is still up. If it's not, Splatoon went with that and not a moment before. Because that was their most popular online game by far, I can guarantee it. No, maybe second to Smash.
Probably.
I really
But
like Smash 4. I'm a rare Smash 4 enjoyer. It's
I
it's not my
don't.
favorite in the franchise, obviously, but it just something about it feels nice. I like picking it up every once in a while.
Um,
I like how the
I
movement
don't.
feels. Sue me.
I don't like how Smash 4's movement feels. I think it's slow.
I
And
think
clunky.
maybe I like clunkier movement because I like Brawl a lot too, and I think that's one of the criticisms for Brawl.
Brawl's movement is fucky. I like Brawl for the sake of I played it a lot with friends when I was younger.
And also the
Um,
Subspace Emissary fucking kicks ass.
I did not like Subspace Emissary.
You didn't?
Yeah, I still really don't.
That's wild.
Um, the reason is the Great Cave Offensive or whatever the fuck. You know that labyrinth and that you have to go through like a giant maze in the Subspace Emissary. That part is what makes me not like Subspace Emissary.
Yeah, fucking maze caves, not good luck. If you'll recall, we also stopped playing Kirby Superstar because we got to a maze cave.
Yeah.
We should try to pick that back up. I feel like we were actually making good progress.
Yeah, if only I just had a functioning laptop right now, that'd be great.
No, I don't mean right now, obviously,
Yeah,
for obvious
I know.
reasons, but perhaps we could finish
Um,
that one. We were close.
I don't know. I'll see how long it really takes for me to go and buy a computer. It might not take that long. It might just be like it might even be by the end of this week if we're being honest. Let's see. How much did I make for my last paycheck? Hold
Last time we
on.
talked about this, and it wasn't that long ago, you said a laptop would take like more than 3 paychecks. And now you're talking
Um,
about a whole ass PC, and you're like, I could do
okay.
that right now.
The difference was I was only allowed to work 24 hours a week. And um so that was one of the issues. And the other issue was that I just didn't have a lot of money saved up. Why is my last pay statement unable to be? Oh, the servers are down. Damn it. Well, I guess I won't know. It was around like 400, like 340.
Money,
So
good.
my last two paychecks were around that. And then this week, I'm basically, if I just don't take a break for the next 2 days, I'll probably find a way to cross the line of 40 hours, which would be terrible, but it's possible.
Then you're working that overtime if you go over 40.
Yeah. Turf Wars and Splatoon 2 are still abundant, but ranked is just a ghost town, especially at higher levels. Interesting.
At higher levels, I'd imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of poor kids.
Maybe I could go back to playing Splatoon 2, but I already bought Splatoon 3.
Splatoon 2 was a Switch game, right? It was not
Yeah.
like a Wii U and then it came out on Switch after.
No, it was released around the beginning of the Switch's lifespan.
Okay.
I think it was released before Mario Kart, or it may have been. I think Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart were like the only like big games on the Switch until Odyssey came out in October of that
Were
year.
those not launch titles? What were the Switch's launch titles?
The Switch's launch titles were 1-2 Switch and Breath of the Wild.
Oh, Breath of the Wild was ready for launch?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it was released on the Wii U. It was released on the Wii U. But it was also ported to the Switch when the Switch came out. I think that's why it released in March, because Breath of the Wild came out in March. Yeah, Breath of the Wild came out March 3rd, 2017. That is when the Switch also debuted,
Yeah.
which is why the Switch came out in March.
That is a weird time to release a console.
Fucking terrible time to release the fucking console. Why would
Like
you wait?
you could have done that 3 months earlier. You couldn't have pulled that off.
No, I guess not. That is something that annoys me, because why did you wait until that long to just pull that off finally?
I didn't get a Switch until fucking Sword and Shield. Was that November 2018?
I'm not
Or was
sure.
it
I would assume.
2017?
It wasn't 2017. I think it was 2018.
Because that's when I got it then that Christmas. December 2018 is when I got my Switch. I got a Switch and Pokemon Shield. The worst Pokemon game.
Yeah.
It's still
Really
fine.
just showed the issue of me not wanting to play Pokemon at that given time. There are currently 4,097 Nintendo Switch games.
Wow, that's a lot of games.
Yeah.
How many games how many games does a given console like usually have? I wonder. Like
Um,
throughout its lifespan.
that's a good question. I don't know.
It's a lot of fucking games, I'll tell you that.
All right. You want to know the Nintendo Switch launch titles?
Sure.
I found them. So there were there were 5 games released as launch titles for the Switch. One of them was 1-2 Switch.
Sure.
The other game was Just Dance 2017.
Okay. That also came out on the Wii.
Skylanders Imaginators was the launch title on the Switch.
Oh yeah.
Super Bomberman R and then Breath of the Wild was launch titles.
Okay.
After that, it took like 2 months for them to put Mario Kart 8 and Puyo Puyo Tetris on the same day on to the Switch, which I loved. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I played the fuck out of that. And then there's a big gap of random games that no one gives a fuck about, including ARMS. And then they released Splatoon 2.
Arms is cool. I like Arms. I'm sad that Arms didn't really take off. I think it's cool.
We got Splatoon 2 in August. Same thing with Sonic Mania, late August. We got our second Mario game, Mario and Rabbids.
That game looks hella fun. I'm gonna be real with you. I should get that game. I know I literally just said I should stop buying video games. That's the angel on my shoulder. The devil says, go buy Mario plus Rabbids.
I think there's 2 of those games now.
I believe there are.
All right, I know I'm not crazy. I know Mario Odyssey. Yeah, Mario Odyssey came out in October, late October. Same thing with Fire Emblem and NBA 2K18. If anyone gave a fuck about the worst 2K game in existence.
I've never played Odyssey outside of very brief little sessions at friends' houses or Walmart demo kiosks.
You've never played Odyssey?
No, I've also never beaten a 3D Mario game at all, so
what?
Yeah. I'm too bad at video games.
But Odyssey,
that one is too expensive.
Oh my god.
I got 3 amazing games for the same price. I bought All-Star Pack instead of fucking Odyssey.
Right. I guess, but it's Odyssey. Odyssey is so good.
It does look like it's really good.
Odyssey is one of my favorite Mario games. It might even be up there as my favorite. I love Odyssey with all of my heart.
I keep trying to get into Galaxy. I have a bad habit, okay? Let me know, gamers in the comments, let me know if you have this. And Andrew, let me know if you have it too. I feel like you don't. I feel like you're going to call me fucking insane for this. Whenever I start playing a game and then I put it down for a while, I feel so powerfully compulsed to just start a new save. And I do most of the time. Like, I have this weird mental block where I feel weird going back to games after putting them down for long enough because I'm like, I don't really remember what was happening. I'm not invested in it anymore. I feel like this is going to be a weird experience. So I'm just gonna restart it. That's what my brain always fucking makes me do. This is why I've tried to get into Mario Galaxy probably like 3 or 4 times now, and I'll play it for a couple hours, then put it down for a month and a half, and then when I pick it back up, I'm like, I feel like I should restart this. And then I do, and I play the same hour and a half of the game again, and then put it down for months again, and then that cycle continues.
Most games that I have that issue with, usually it's Pokemon games, if I'm not gonna lie.
Pokemon games might be the one exception for me, because I'm so I'm so intrinsically connected to those games at all times that I can load up any Pokemon save and just be like, okay, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm doing, let's keep going. Because I'm so deeply, intimately familiar with Pokemon games, and even when I'm not, I remember them from when I played them. Part of me, I'm gonna resist the urge with Legends Arceus. I'm not fucking restarting that shit. I haven't opened that game for more than 20 minutes in probably a year plus. But I'm not gonna do it. That would be retarded. I'm just gonna pick it back up and I'm gonna play it. It's really fun. I just don't play video games because I have a terrible attention span. So sometimes I don't finish games that I like. So don't take the fact that I haven't finished Legends Arceus as permission for you not to play it, Andrew, because it is good and you need to play it.
I'll play Legends Arceus eventually. Eventually, I'll get to it.
We got to do it on this channel. I think it would be epic.
Maybe.
I'd like to do a Let's Play of a modern Pokemon game. It's something I don't get to do. It's novelty. I remember we did it. Every time I do it, something feels like fun about just Let's Playing modern Pokemon games. I don't know what it is about that, but like, I remember me and Gingy did Shield Let's Play for a while on BitChute. That was really fun. I recorded a Let's Go Pikachu Let's Play where I got like 3 gyms in, and this was on like Gingy's Switch while we were up in Orlando in 2020. And those videos never came out because they were never given to me properly. or I think they were given to me, or like, but like the files were corrupted or something. It was unfortunate. Those videos are lost to time. But I remember that one being really fun. I don't know what it is, so I feel like playing Legends Arceus as some big guy, little guy would be really fun.
Maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe one day. I mean, Legends ZA is coming out within the next year,
Yeah, I mean, we don't
so
know when in 2025 it's coming yet.
we just know, which is insane because I will be done with my first 2 years of actual college and will probably be moving into a um either my own apartment or I'll be in a dorm for college.
Oh my God, if you start living on campus and shit, living that life, I would be jealous as shit of you.
Yeah, I'm supposed to go to one of the biggest schools in Michigan, which um for those that don't know, Michigan University of Michigan Ann Arbor is a top 5 business school in the nation, and that is my dream school, and I do a plan to apply there next year because I have incredibly good remarks and I think I have at least a decent shot of getting accepted, but if I don't get accepted it's whatever, I don't care. um
I hope you do get accepted.
if not, my fallback option is Michigan State, and if I don't get accepted there then I go to Central. So the idea of leaving Michigan isn't going to happen.
I want to leave Florida as soon as possible. That's the idea. Is in February I'm out. I don't know. The current tentative plan is Ohio. That is subject to change. I have a couple backup options that are possibly viable. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Is the desire. I hate it here. I hate the heat. I hate everything about where I live. I still feel this. I haven't talked about this for a while because it hasn't been haunting me as much. I've kind of gotten out of this headspace a little bit, but I still feel this way in the back of my mind. It's like I feel like this shouldn't be my life anymore. Like I go about my daily goings on and I'm like this whole space around me and just how I conduct myself and the places I go and the things I do, this does not feel real anymore almost. Like it's like it doesn't feel right. It feels like cosmically it's not what I'm supposed to be doing right now. It feels like this is a result of my fuck ups, that this is still how my life is. And I just need desperately a new environment, a new situation, and new daily goings on. Because I've had the same environment and very similar daily goings on, with the exception of school versus work, for my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I still live in my mother's house that we've lived in my entire life. We've never moved once. So I've lived in the same house, same neighborhood always. Uh, I've always gone to the same like establishments for fun. I've discovered a few new ones recently, but like in general, like people know my name in a lot of the local places. Like my life has been intrinsically placed in in this little fucking podunk shit town forever, and I'm sick of it. I need something new. I'm tired of the sameness.
I mean, time. Words
I
are
did
difficult.
all the fuck ups, Andrew. That this is what has led me here. So many fuck ups, continually fumbling the ball at the what is what's the how the yards go up the closer you get to the touchdown, or they go down the number of yards that you would be at the line of.
What?
Okay, I'm trying to explain this stupidly. So like when people say like fumble the ball at the whatever number yard line, are you aware of that turn of phrase?
Yeah,
What is that?
I
What
guess.
is the correct number of yards? And is that referring to being close to a touchdown or far away?
The lower the number, the closer you are to a touchdown.
Okay, so I fumble. This is the result of constant fumblings of the ball at the 99-yard line. That has defined my entire life. I'm just continuous failure, and I know that's pretty fucking dark, but like at this point, I'm kind of just apathetic toward it, and I'm gonna try to fucking change it. But I'm doing it at my own pace, which is probably stupid and slow. And people criticize how I do it all the time, and probably for good reason. But I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna hope it works out. And just acknowledge the fact that I want to be not here is my primary goal right now.
I mean, I get it. Eventually, I'm going to grow my own resentment towards my own state and want to move, and I will. Just not right now.
But it's also like part of me feels like we never should have been here in the first place. Like as much as I think ultimately it was a good experience, if just because of my grandparents, because they had already moved here, because I was not an expected factor. Had my grandparents never moved and we never moved, I feel like I don't know. I feel like life would have been different. I don't know whether it would have been better or worse, but it would have been different. And part of me wishes it was, because if for people who don't know, I was born in Massachusetts. My whole family for generations spans back Massachusetts. My mother was born in Massachusetts, lived there her entire life until she moved here with me. Uh, my grandmother was born in Massachusetts and lived her entire life there until she moved here to retire a couple years before I came along. My family was deeply rooted in Massachusetts up until us, because my grandparents had moved to Florida to retire, and then I was a surprise. So we lived in Massachusetts in a shitty apartment for a while. And the place we lived in was so like shitty and like skeezy. And that combined with the fact that my grandparents lived down here and my parents were like, hey, maybe the kids should have some grandparents around. That would be like a nice thing to have. So the decision was made to move to Florida. And that's where I was dropped and have spent my entire life. And I don't know. Maybe it could just be a grass is always greener thing. That's the common criticism, and it's probably true. But every time I've been up there in the north, something just feels better about it. Like I feel like I'm a northerner trapped in the south. Because every time I go up to Massachusetts or the neighboring states that I spend time in, because I have family there, like just something in the air feels better. Like I just feel like I belong more.
I mean, yeah,
I
I think
carry
you
the blood
are
of
a
I
northerner
carry the
trapped in the
blood of a
south.
northerner, and I was dragged out of my territory before I had a chance to flourish, and now I'm fighting to go back.
I like to believe that we are two completely different people trapped in the wrong sides of the country. Feel like I more belong in the south, and you seem like someone who belongs way more in the north, and yet the roles are flip flopped.
Yeah, you're right. Andrew,
In the north,
can we do the show Wife Swap? Wife Swap? Can we do
I know
Life
the
Swap?
idea. Um,
Where we just switch lives, switch identities?
no, I kind of like my identities.
I feel like that would work, right? I feel like you could logistically pull that off, right? Because people have committed identity theft before. So if you committed mutual permissed identity theft on each other and switched identities, I think that could work.
Okay, well, do you think you could manage to do everything that I do?
Um, I mean, what, you work, you
I
babysit your
work,
little brother, you go to college,
I go to college, I still go to high
you
school.
go to high school. God,
I
you do
have
a
like
lot of shit.
trust me, my college counselor sat me down one day and she's like, "You are doing too much. You need to stop. You're going to break down and you're going to get stuck one day." And I'm like, "It hasn't happened yet, so it's fine." She advises us to only work 15 hours a week, and I double that. I do
Wow.
about less, like 3 months ago. I was doing 6 hours of homework a week, and I completely disregarded one of my college classes just so I had the time to do the homework. This semester it's kind of one and the same. I've disregarded marketing and I just spend my time either reading or doing my politics work, which I fucking hate politics. The class is all right, but God, do I hate American politics.
Yeah,
And
you get in fucking line, Andrew.
yeah, mainly because of the Republican Party, because they're
Trump's gonna
full of
win again,
fucks.
by the way.
I don't think he's gonna win.
Uh,
He
I
definitely
don't
got a
want.
better shot
I'm not.
now.
To be clear, for those of you who have not heard me describe my political affiliation, I am a leftist. I do not want Trump to win. I think Trump's gonna win.
I
I
don't think so.
don't think there's any confidence in Biden.
Yeah.
Biden. Okay, so this is a little thing. It could be explained away as a nothing, but I feel like it's somewhat significant to some degree. I don't know if you happen to read this. I saw a headline. I read the article. It was the headline made me think it was much bigger than it was, and then it was explained as kind of a small thing, but it's still a little significant. So they did the primary. They're doing the primaries rather.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden, for the first time in many, many years, and I don't remember exactly how many, but in many, many, many years, this is the first time ever a sitting president has lost any primary anywhere. Like some small little section where a primary was run, another Democratic candidate beat Joe Biden. And that's the first time
Yeah.
that's happened in a very long time.
Because Biden sucks.
Yeah,
There's just
which
no
is
better
why I
way to put
think
it.
Trump is gonna win.
They both suck.
Yeah, they
And
do both suck, you're right. But I think Trump sucks more charismatically.
yeah, he sucks more charismatically, but fucking I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I can't really.
I think he sucks more, but I think he sucks more charismatically too.
Yeah, he
I think that
sucks
might lead
more.
to a victory.
I'm hoping that if Trump does become president again, he dies in like a year.
Biden should have stepped down. He really should have. I think he'd be in
Should
a much
have.
better position. If
I
Biden
mean,
was like,
yeah.
I'm not running for re-election, and we just had a normal Democratic primary with new candidates, I think we'd be in a much better position.
I would assume that Kamala Harris would become the fucking new Democratic fucking
Well, I mean, she'd probably be
primary.
up against some shit. I think probably maybe Hillary Clinton would run again. Who
Oh
else could
my
run?
god, I'd
Who else
hope
could run
not.
again? Bernie could run again.
Bernie could,
Um,
but I just don't think he will.
yeah,
He's old. Bernie's 82. Jesus Christ.
Michelle Obama could run. I think that's been discussed.
We should just get rid of fucking the president, dump it off.
Outsource it.
Yeah, fuck it. It's already the president already barely has anything to do with shit.
Outsource the presidency to a shitty Indian call center.
We should just
the
not let Trump
the
run for
United
president
Nations
again.
reaches out to the United States. Ring ring. Hello, this is Joe Biden. How may I help you today?
I have a certain
We're
disdain.
going into World War III. What are you gonna do? Let me put you on hold. Let me look something up here. Hold on. 3 hours later. Yes. Hold on. 3 more hours later, and the call hangs up before he comes back on the line. And that's our
I'm
presidency. And that would be more useful than what's going on right now, I think.
I'm very interested to figure out how Donald Trump was a part of the Democratic Party from 2001 to 2009.
Because the
I'm
Democratic Party used to be less intense as to what it believes. Like, the Democratic Party back in the day could probably be placed closer to the center, if not like the right now.
yeah, I guess. I scroll through Trump's Wikipedia page every once in a while just because I'm
I think we've gone extreme. I think politics has gone much further to the extreme than it was before. Where before,
yeah.
like the Democrats and the Republicans were kind of just like moderate. whereas now like the leftists are far left and the right people are far right.
Yeah. Politics is fucking terrible.
I'm not far left. I'm the leftist who hates leftists. That's in my Twitter bio because I am a leftist. If I get out to vote, I will vote blue, and that is my promise to you. But I hate the fucking cancel culture shit. I hate that we have this idea that we cannot coexist with people just because they have different political views than us. I know there's like real deep shit on the line, but I feel like it shows some level of class and some level of a society we should uphold, to have people have their beliefs about politics and be able to voice them and be able to vote how they want to vote, be able to participate in democracy the way that they want to and not be discriminated against. Like, I don't give a shit what you believe. I think you're stupid. I'll tell my Republican friends that I think they're stupid, but I'll still hang out with them because at the end of the day, we're all people. If they're fun to be around, I'm gonna be around them. And I think that jokes are funny. So that's another thing that separates me from the far left.
I'm looking at Donald Trump's signature right now, and God, does it look awful. I don't
Really?
even think. Yeah, this is a fucking terrible signature. Like, I say this knowing that my signature is really bad. Hold on, I'll send it to you because there's no way this is his signature according to Wikipedia. Shit, am I in our chats? Nope. Yep. Drag and drop it.
All right, let's see it. Let's see it. Let's take a look. What the fuck?
I see the D, I think.
I saw the whole name immediately. That's the funny thing. I did make it out immediately, but it's like a fucking like alien scribble
Where's the
language that
O?
it's in.
This looks like Russian cursive.
Maybe it's like it's an advanced version of like you really only have to see the first and last letter of the word. It's one of those like cognitive test things that they do to like blow your minds.
What the fuck did he do with the P?
I can make out the two D's and I can make out the T and the P in like a weird abstract way, and I think that kind of does the rest of the work for the other letters. And I made it out immediately as Donald Trump, but it does look fucking terrible.
What did he do with the P at the ends? Why is it a giant spike?
It's really pronounced.
What was he? We need a new Donald Trump signature. Is Joe Biden's that bad? Why is... I didn't even get to type in Joe Biden, and it immediately autofills to Joe Biden sucks. All right, maybe Joe Biden won't win.
The thing about Trump is he's just really... He's really got that charisma. I listened to recently. I've been going down this rabbit hole. There was a very, very popular, very high profile radio show that ran from 1994 to 2014. It ran for 20 years. It was called Opie and Anthony. Have you ever heard that name before?
I have not.
Okay, a lot of people who don't know what it is have at least heard that name because it used to be like a big deal. And it's often one of the shows credited with the invention of the modern podcast to some degree. Like Opie and Anthony kind of invented the sort of format that a lot of like comedy shows take up nowadays. And it was just a really good show where, you know, these two radio guys, Opie and Anthony, they just did this silly little radio show where they talked about the news and riffed about the news. They did a bunch of dumb, crazy stunts, like a lot of stuff involving like naked women and sex and like trolling live events. Like one of the only full Opie and Anthony show I've listened to because it was like a multi-hour like live radio show. So like in the modern era, in the Zoomer age, most people just consume it via YouTube clips, me included. But the one full Opie and Anthony show I listened to, a lot of the conversation was centered around an incident where there was a stage play on like Broadway. It might have been on Broadway even, like a big deal. And in this stage play, a woman named Kathleen, the actress's name was Kathleen. I don't remember her last name. And she has to get like full frontal naked in this play on stage, like that was part of the play. And there was this operation where people who were working with Opie and Anthony came in secretly recording, and at the moment where this woman takes her clothes off, a man stands up and says, "God damn, Kathleen, put your goddamn clothes back on." And just like aghast from the audience. It was a beautiful stunt. Shit like that. Just stunts and goofy shit. And they also had a lot of comedians on, and they would just like talk with comedians and make jokes, which is where it's kind of credited with the modern podcast. That's where that comes in.
Makes sense.
So on I listened to recently, Opie and Anthony was a back when they were on terrestrial radio, because they eventually ended up on Sirius XM in their final years, that satellite radio thing. But when they were still on like regular radio, they were in New York. That was their primary area of broadcast. So Donald Trump called into their show a good few times over the years. So I've listened to some Donald Trump, Opie, and Anthony calls, and he's a silly fellow. He can keep up.
Yeah,
He's a jokey boy.
he's something, but he's a terrible president.
Yeah, fair enough.
A lot of because again, I'm in a politics class. A lot of the book that I'm reading, which was written in 2021, talks about a lot of the things that a president shouldn't do, and the leading two examples for what a president shouldn't do are Andrew Jackson and Donald Trump. Typically Donald Trump, because he's the more recent of the two and he did a lot of more things that he shouldn't have done. But it's those two usually.
I just want to test you real quick because I know I can't answer this efficiently. This is a question that stumps me.
Okay.
It's one of these things that's just, I know it in my heart and soul. But you seem informed on politics, probably because you're taking a class, and maybe you have a more in-depth answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
What can you give me a comprehensive list of what Trump has done wrong?
The most recent thing I read in the book. So when it comes to appointing judges in the Supreme Court, you're not supposed to put someone that is you are affiliated and friends with into the Supreme Court. That is supposed to be something that is they get there because they deserve to be there. Like they have the ability to do it, not I like this guy, so this guy gets put in. Trump went, I like this guy, he's gonna go in. Donald Trump made a bunch of executive orders, and I think only a handful actually went in because he either didn't know how you're supposed to go through creating a law, or he just didn't care enough and figured that he could just do an executive order and make things laws that shouldn't be laws constitutionally. But that was the most recent thing I've read, is Trump just kind of put people in power that should not have been put in power in the first place, which is something that we got rid of in, I think, like the 19th century, is that we have to give people based on their merits, not based on party affiliation, which is something that Andrew Jackson did, and that's why Andrew Jackson is considered one of the worst presidents.
Oh, because he appointed people into the court that were on the opposing side?
He appointed people into the court based on if they were affiliated with him or not. So if they were affiliated with him, they got a position in power.
Well, okay, so the opposite of how I understood it. I thought you were saying that you were saying regardless of party affiliations. That's how I was like, oh, did people hate him because he was in one party and he appointed justices that were in another party?
No, I think that's how they want you to do it, so that it's like still evened out.
But
like
nobody has ever done that.
But fucking, I don't know, man. He also did pardon a handful of people, which I don't really care for. He did pardon Lil Wayne, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty rad. To be real,
Um, that one was cool.
sometimes,
Yeah.
most times he does something and it's like, but sometimes
I mean, yeah, it was whatever. I mean, he got impeached twice, which is insane. You know, that just doesn't happen to any regular president. Getting impeached once is, I mean, whatever. That happens.
does it?
I feel like
Eh, just a
more
little bit of
recently,
impeachment every once in a while never hurt anybody.
I feel like a good amount of presidents could have or should have been impeached.
What the
Or at
fuck is
least
impeachment? Because like it was one of those
being
things where
tried as
everybody thought
you
for a while that just meant
you
you weren't
think it
president
means that you
anymore,
get taken out
but
of
you're
president.
not.
No.
That's not what
It
it is.
is you get tried in a court for something that was wrong and you were like the leading culprit for why it happened, which is why Trump got impeached January 7th, because he he pushed for people to storm the Capitol building and he encouraged it. That's why he got impeached January 7th. I don't remember what was the reason for the first time.
But he got impeached. Was that happenstance that happened?
Um,
January 7th of what year?
the year that they stormed the Capitol building.
But how did they make that happen in a day, or did it just happen to line up that way?
I think it happened and then they brought it, or it was like brought in. It might not be that day exactly. I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Oh, okay, you just said January
I think it was
7th for like effect. Okay.
yeah, I know it was around that time. The first impeachment was in 2019 with charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, which yeah. The second one was a charge of indictment of insurrection. The trial was from January 26th to February 13th. So it was because of January 7th, but it didn't take place until the end of um
Wait a minute, wait a minute,
whatever.
wait a minute. You're saying when you say January 7th, you're referring to the Capitol riot?
Yeah, right, that's when it was.
That's January 6th, buddy.
Same thing.
That's why I asked that line of question, because you said he was
Oh,
impeached on
right.
January 7th, and I was like, they did it in one day? How did they
Right.
pull
No.
that off?
Yeah, whoops. Um you got the point though.
Yeah, I got you.
Because of the January 6th Capitol attack, fucking Trump got impeached. Which it's crazy that he got put in impeached twice, but you know, I guess it happens. I mean, he beat the case both times, I guess.
If I had a nickel for every time Donald Trump got impeached.
I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice now.
Exactly. Yes, that is the Phineas and Ferb reference. Good job. You took it home. So in fucked up news, I talked about this on another show, but I definitely want to hear you talk about it because I don't know how it affected you and your heart and soul and emotions.
Okay.
Um, can you predict what I'm about to say?
I cannot.
Uh, Akira Toriyama died.
Oh, right. Akira Toriyama died.
Yeah.
Um,
How did you find out, and how are you feeling afterward?
um, I think I found out because of the Discord message. It was either that or I was scrolling Twitter at work when I
Oh,
shouldn't
the
have
one
been.
Squeebo posted in literally 1984 group chat.
That's Squeebo?
I believe so.
Oh, yeah. That's how I found out. I think I was working. Um, I mean, yeah, 10/27, March 7th, I was working. I was just getting ready to leave work. And then fucking, I don't know. I was, uh, it sucks.
It really does
I,
suck. It was a big hit for me. Like I was able to like compose myself pretty quickly, but I did cry for a moment, and that puts that on a list of 2 celebrity deaths that I've cried over. It was only Jason David Frank and Akira Toriyama.
I
Jason
have
David Frank
yet
is the Power Rangers guy.
I've yet to cry over a death of a celebrity. However, I assume that it'll happen one day. I don't know when that day will be,
What is
but
this
I
off the
assume
top of
it'll
your head? What
happen.
is the celebrity that could die right now and you think you would cry?
I'm not sure what celebrity would die, and I don't know. I am unsure what it would take um for me to cry over a celebrity death. Um I don't know. If it was before all the allegations and the controversies of Chugga Conroy, I think it would have been Chugga Conroy. Where to
If
when he died,
Miyamoto died today,
I don't think I would feel anything.
you don't think?
I don't think so.
He made Pikmin, Andrew.
I know he made Pikmin. That's great.
He made
But
Zelda, Andrew.
um maybe the day that like it has to be like someone that I look up to as like someone that I like near and dear like actually like care about. Like when everything happened with Cheka Conroy, it was like, damn, that was like the worst I felt for like 2 weeks. Like I'd put that up there with like my most recent breakup. That was terrible. Like I felt so much pain within those 2 days. Like that whole week. Um and assuming that whenever Chugga Conroy comes back, I can hope that when he gets out of wherever the fuck he is currently, that he can maybe one day make a comeback or at least be something. Because I'd like to look back on the series that Chugga Conroy had done and still be able to cherish those the same way that I was able to when I was a kid. Because Chugga Conroy is more of a more of a father figure to me than my own dad is.
You see, Andrew, this is why my skill is valuable, Andrew. Now you get it. It finally happened to someone you like enough that you get it.
Yeah.
Separating the art from the artist. The art is so
I'm not
important and
separating the art
good.
from the artist. I still think it's fucked up, and I have not watched a Chugga Conroy video since the moment. But I would like
I
for him
have
to come back and kind of,
honestly,
you
when a
know,
creator get canceled, I end up watching them more usually. Because it's like
um,
I think it's just because I'm thinking about them more. And again, I literally complete art from artist separation at all times. So like all that shit came out about the completionist, where it's like he's a scumbag, he stole charity money. I'm like, wow, that is scummy. Let me watch some completionist videos.
it's crazy. I don't know. I'm weird, and I know, and like again, if anything ever big guy related blows up, I'm going to be the one that gets canceled like immediately.
That's not true.
Uh,
That is not true.
uh,
You know that some of the things I've said, that is not
Well,
true.
you have things that you've said. I have things that I've done that I think are best deserved to be left in the closet and never to be dug up
That
and forgotten
incident that
about.
you fucked up my live stream over, nobody cares about that anymore. You were a kid.
Not that. I'm referring to like real things that I as a person have done that I have looked back on and already don't like. But I don't even know what you're referencing.
I'm referencing the slap.
Oh, that. Yeah, that also, but that's different in a sense.
Um,
Um,
are you gonna get mad at me if I guess something correctly that you might look back on and be like, am I gonna get canceled?"
you can guess, I guess.
There was that episode of the Big Guy Little Guy Q&A podcast where you talked about manipulating women into leaving their
Oh,
girlfriends or whatever, or into leaving their
um,
boyfriends or whatever.
not home wrecking, because we're middle school kids. They were in terrible situations. I put them in a better situation, in my opinion.
No, that
Not
was that. They were
that.
not middle school kids. Those were high school kids. You were not in middle school when we were doing the Big Guy Little Guy Q&A podcast.
No, I was. I refer when I refer to those things, I refer to them as middle school because I was in 8th grade, and that's when I did a majority of my being an asshole was
But but
eighth
but some
grade.
of it extenuated into further years. But eighth grade was the nexus point.
I wouldn't say a lot of it did. Most of it kind of died off by the time I got into high school because freshman year I didn't see anyone because I was home all day every day for like 2 years because of COVID. So most of it was like middle school stuff. Um, actually, no, there was one high school incident, but that was different. Also,
I imagine you probably have some incidents in your life because you are prone to mood swings.
I
You'll
have
you'll get in your moods
terrible,
and it'll be a terror.
dude. I got off of work yesterday and I just sat in my car for like 30 minutes because there were so many things that I did in that day, especially in like the last hour of like working, that I did not look fondly on, and I just kept screaming for like 30 minutes because that's usually what I do. I get in my car and I just scream my entire way home. Whatever is
That's
on my
based.
mind. Um I genuinely think I have bipolar disorder and I don't want to get it diagnosed and I do not want to go to therapy. So, I don't know. I just kind of tough it out. That's also why I got up late because I didn't get home until late. And when I did, I was so annoyed with everything that I just couldn't sleep.
Yeah, understandable. I've been doing more of the can't sleep thing recently. So usually that for like almost my entire life, that's never been a problem. Like I can just close my eyes in the dark and eventually the problem will sort itself out. But like recently, it never goes on for like ever. Like I know a lot of people will just like not sleep some nights. That never happens. Eventually something gives. But just today I was up from like 2 a.m. until 4 a.m. and then I was up from like 6 a.m. to like 7 and then I went to sleep for 30 more minutes and then I was up for the day. Like it was really weird.
Um, yeah, no, I just don't sleep.
And I didn't go to bed the first time until like 11. So
I
I slept from 11 to 2 and then I was up until 4 and then I slept from 4 to 6 and I was up until 7 and I slept from 7 to 7:30 and then I got up.
I have an inability to sleep throughout the week. Um, so Monday, because I used to work Mondays, so I would go to bed at like 1 to 2 Monday, wake up at like 4, go back to sleep at like 4:30, wake up at 6:30, get ready for school, come home, go back to school, come home again and go to work. Tuesday, I would barely sleep again. I average about like 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, and I have for the last while. My caffeine addiction is getting really bad again, which is why I'm cutting my hours at work. Wednesday I have school all day. I don't get out of school until like 8 or 9 p.m. whenever my professor feels like letting us leave. Um, Thursdays I go back to working. Friday, or well, no, Thursdays become a day where I do not work because I spend my time with the girl that I am currently in love with, that hopefully works everything out because I've been speaking to her for 5 years and I'd prefer for things to stay that way. Um,
Oh
Bless her
boy,
soul.
a big drama going on.
Um, the whole reason for why I'm cutting my work schedule in half or even to a third is just so that I can see her and still manage to do school with no issues.
Andrew, you got a lot of baskets and you're spreading your eggs thin, bro.
Dude, yeah, it's fucking terrible. Um, I am I've come to the conclusion a couple days ago that I am the problem.
If you just quit your job, would your parents let you continue to live and eat food that they buy you for free?
Probably.
Then quit your job.
I like having money though.
Okay.
Okay, my issue. I quit my job for 2 weeks and I wasn't gonna work again until May. I quit my job to
And I
sit in
was happy for
January.
you because I knew you were so stressed with all the shit you were doing. So I was like, thank God he finally quit. And
And
then
then I
you
went back.
went back immediately.
Yeah. I felt my issue is if I don't do anything for long enough, I feel like I'm not doing anything with my life and I get depressed. So I went back to working just so that I had something in my life to do that wasn't school.
It was big guy, little guy, man. We were going all in.
Yeah, but I think
We were
that
gonna bring it
that's
to 7 days.
yeah, but I don't know. I think I can uh I think I could do it. Especially when I'm done with school for a bit until I go back in August, but we just got to make it through fucking the next 2
I'm too stupid to
months.
understand math. Like I feel like how because I think most Let's Play channels that do this record like a ridiculous amount of shit in advance. Like, I'm pretty sure Game Grumps, like the Let's Plays that are coming out now, they recorded in like December. So like they backlog the shit out of it. And I'm trying to understand the math of backlogging it the minimum. Like how many, if we're putting out 7 videos a week, how many would we have to record like provisionally, or like would we have to record more than 7 per session?
I would
Because we would
assume
have to have a
probably 8 the
video.
first session. 8 the first session so that it can go into the next day. Or you have like all the videos for the week and then the day that you record again, and then you do 7 and then you're good. Because you have that one video that is like there, that extra video. So as long as you have like 8 that are coming within, or as long as you have like that number 8, like you have the first 8 that you record, and then after that it's just 7 because you have that one extra day. If you continuously did 8, you would just keep pushing another video in, and the new videos that were recorded would come out a day later. So I think it would be 8 the first time and then 7 onwards. But I'm also not thinking about it very hard right now.
That's fair. You might be right. I might just be overthinking it.
You overthink it, I underthink it, it works out.
That's right. That's what it's all about. Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse. Did you even listen to that whole song? I realized that you left that comment at like 25 seconds.
I did. I suffered through the rest of the song.
I'm proud of it. I think it sounds terrible, but that's on purpose, and I think it's funny.
It does in fact sound terrible.
Was it funny though? Did you chuckle?
Um, I thought the chorus was alright. If it wasn't recorded like shit, it probably could have worked. I'm ready to go back to bed.
You're feeling the bedtimes.
Yeah,
What time do you have to go to work?
Um, I'm supposed to go in at 3, but I think I might have to go in at 2. I don't know.
Bumping you up an hour, eh?
Yeah. I might just stay at 3 though. It seems like they're not gonna, the guy isn't gonna take my 2 or take my 3 to 11, and I was gonna take his 2 to 11. Whatever.
Well,
Eh,
well,
I'm fucking
doggy.
tired, ready to go back to bed, and fucking, I don't know.
I think we can. I think we've winded it down. I think we can call it here. We're just shy of 2 hours, so that's
I don't
fine.
remember when we started. That'll be fine. Just a little bit off.
I'm looking
As
at
if,
the time. Yeah, once the silence
oh,
cuts, it'll probably be like an hour 45 or something to that effect.
I would assume it'll still be like.
Redox is going to complain about it no matter how long it is. So let's just
Redux
stop
would
overthinking it.
complain either way. So, whatever.
He always
Fucking.
complains when things are too short, and then when long things come out, he still complains. I hate him.
I don't fucking get Redux. But. Are we
Thank you
done
all.
here?
Thank you all for listening. Sorry that our Let's Plays are on hold,
Temporary holds.
temporary hold. But I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling? We'll be back next week on the temporary Big Guy Little Guy podcast if you do not have a computer.
I uh yeah.
Okay, good. So whether it's Let's Plays or podcast, we'll see you next week, folks.
Yay.
Big Andrew L. The
I'm
biggest Andrew
working on
L
it.
yet.